Hi, it's Enrique of Canine Perspective. Today we have a new board and train, Bruno. Bruno just has this typical puppy issues with jumping, mouthing, and just pulling. So he's gonna be here for 2 weeks as a board and train. In this video, we're gonna be talking about finding the number we're gonna be working with throughout his training. On the e-collar, 3500. I have it on right now on his neck. It's right below the jaw. Very fitted so that the contact points are making contact with the skin, and it's not going to slide off anywhere. If I notice that it keeps going down to the middle or keeps moving out of place, I know it's too loose. So again, finding the number we're going to be using for his training. So we're going to be finding 3 things: the connection level, the perception level, and then the working level. So the connection level is going to be the number that shows us we're making contact, which is going to be like a muscle twitch on the left side of his neck. So you'll see his ear move, or this part right here just twitch, but then he might just not care, he just doesn't even know it's there. You're just seeing the visual of it. So that is the connection. Then once we go a little higher, we find the perception, where then he'll look around and maybe look to his left or his right, wherever the box is on the neck, and then he's I know there's something here, but he still doesn't care. And then we go a little more higher, and then we find a number where he'll probably sit down, lay down, or maybe he'll go around me and then sit behind me, or something drastic, something very concerning. He's showing more concern. So once we see that concern, that's the number we're going to be using for teaching everything. The reason why we want that number is because of that concern. We want the training to mean something to him. If we stuck at the working number, or if we stuck at the number where we saw the twitch and we're oh, well, it's obviously there, so he probably feels it. It's going to take us a while to get things done with him, and take a while for him to understand what we're wanting from him. So when we go to that working number, it's easier for us and for him, so it's very clear what we're wanting and what we don't want him to do. So in this environment, there's a few dogs in place. There's a dog being trained. There are 2 dogs sleeping in the playpen, so nothing really is going on. The reason why I speak about the environment is because the environment will also will affect the number of the e-collar. So if we were at a park where there's a lot of things going on, his number might be higher, stay the same, or lower. It's always going to be different for every dog, but that's just a heads up. So how we find it, we're going to be using the nick button. We're going to be going up in increments of 5, starting at 5. So right here, I'm going to go to 5 or 6. I'll go to 5. If I give a tap, 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 nothing. Go to 10, tap, tap, tap. I'm going to see what 13 can get us. Tap, tap, tap. 15, tap, tap, tap. 20, tap, tap, tap. 25, tap, tap, tap. 30, tap, tap, tap. 35, tap, tap, tap. 40, tap, tap, tap. 45, tap, tap, tap. 50, tap, tap, tap. 55, tap, tap, tap. 60, tap, tap, tap. So I see the contraction. Dip down, so 30, tap, 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 40, tap, 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 45, tap, 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 50, tap, 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 go to 60 again, tap, tap, tap. So this perception, he's looking around, he feels it. I'm gonna try 63. Tap, tap, tap. Still nothing. 65, tap, tap, tap. 70, tap, tap, tap. Shh. Shh. 70, tap, tap, tap. 75, tap, tap. There we go. So we got to 75. As you saw, I was in like the 60s when he was laying down, and then he wasn't really like, you saw. I saw. I'm pretty sure the video saw, the camera saw that his like whole like shoulder was twitching right here. And then he looked around, he didn't really care, then he just continued to watch as I'm tapping, as I see the contraction. Then I got a 74, and then he's like, okay, I got up. And then so that lets us know that like, okay, he's trying to figure out how to stop it. We might end up dipping down as it becomes, because right here he's a little distracted. He's like watching everything going on. So it might have taken like, as he starts to put more focus in, is what I'm saying, is that he'll become more sensitive to it. He'll become more aware. So we might dip down, it's always gonna be different. So again, 74 is our number. We're gonna leave it at that, and then that's the number I'll start using for like the heel command. All right, so Enrique with Canine Perspective. We have Boomer, board and train. We found out that his working number is 74. This is the number we're going to be using to do the heel command, which is what we're going to be covering in this video. So for heel, it's when the dog is on our left side with his right shoulder aligned with us, always. So once we cue heel, he's to walk with us in this position, stop when we stop, and then walk when we walk. So he's just basically like our shadow here. And this is all done with this much of slack. Like right here, this is like the perfect right here. So there's no tension in the leash, and he's just to walk with us like this. And when I say stop when we stop, it's the automatic sit. So when we're walking, he's walking. When I stop, he sits. And then he's to be in that, with that strictness, always with once we cue it. The only time he's allowed to get released from our side is when we give him the release command, which is break, and then he can just do whatever he wants, like just go like potty or just smell. But yeah, we'll be covering break and heel in this video. So when we're teaching it, I'm going to position myself next to him, and then I'm going to walk. Most likely, Boomer is going to pass me. So once I see that his right shoulder passed my left leg, I'm going to do an immediate tap and 180. So if he passed me, I'm going to start tapping and turning, and then keep tapping until he comes back into position. If I find that he's lagging, which means he's either probably putting the brakes on behind me or just doesn't want to catch up, I tap for that as well. If he's having a hard time catch up, I'll use the leash pressure to guide him up to me or speed up. If he goes to my right side, because heel is only on the left side, if he goes to my right side, I'm going to grab higher on the leash So like this, and then pull him, not with a lot of force, because I want the e-collar to do all the work. So I'm just gonna bring tension, and then tap, 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 and then we'll turn to my left side. He is in the flat buckle collar. I'm not using the harness. So yeah, so again, we want some slack, because if it's too, not too much slack to the point where it's like right here, because right here, as you can see, it's like touching the floor. He's going to probably step over, and then I'm gonna have to keep pausing and then just keep taking his paw out from the leash, which is too much. So we're gonna have it right by the armpit. We don't want too tight here, because then we're not teaching anything. It's just going to be always like the leash. But we don't want the leash to do the work. We want the e-collar. So I'm just going to see what 74 gets us. I'm going to give it a tap, tap, tap. Good. So we'll keep it at 74. I might need to bump it, but we'll see. So I'm going to start walking. I'm not going to say any words. I'm going to give it a tap. And then I'll vocalize when I'm tapping. Right here, I'm going to tap for him to speed up. And tap for speed up. There we go. Slow to a stop. Good. So sometimes, if we're causing a lot of focus from the dog, they just offer the automatic sit. If he we're not. So right here, tap for that pawing on me. So tap, tap. Good. For this, I don't say anything. Well, besides tapping, but I don't say off or anything. It's just don't jump on me. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to walk, give it a tap here. So he's paying attention, so I haven't had a chance to do a 180, so I'm going to slow to a stop to see if he's paying attention, to see if he keeps up with my pace. And for the auto sit, I'm going to pull up and then tap, 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 tap. There we go. Good boy. What's he saying? So right here he gets up, tap, tap, tap. I'm gonna bump my number to 80. We'll do a few more. So right here he's going to my right side. I'm gonna tap. Good. Now slow to a stop. Right here he's mouthing me. Tap. Good. I'm not going to care about the positioning right now. It's just that he's sitting. It's slowing down. So if he's paying attention, I'll slow down, see if he's, because he's not really forging ahead. But if I slow down, he should slow down with me, and then I come to the stop. If I slow down and he's still going, then I do the tap in 180. So I'm gonna do a few more. Tap. Slow to stop. Tap. 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 Good. Slow to a stop. Tap. Good. So right here, tap. tap. Slow turn. I'm going to slow to a stop. I'm going to give a tap, 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 tap. Good. Tap. Good. Better. And slow to a stop. Good. There's no tapping there. And then the release command is break, and then I pull him off of me, or I'll just kind of walk, like, making no sense to him, just to let him know that he can do whatever he wants. But yeah, he didn't really, right here, but tap, 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 tap. There we go. So I bumped it up, went up to 90, and go back down 85. Was that? I think it was out of camera, but he was jumping on me. He was holding on, like right here, and I just kept tapping until he released himself. But yeah, there was no foraging really. There was a few times where he lagged, or I went to the right side. So far, so good. So for break again, it's just I cue the word and I just start pulling him off me with the leash. We'll start using the heel word since he's got a good concept, which would look like, so I'm going to position myself. It's going to be heel and then move with the left leg. So heel, tap, 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 tap. There we go. Slow to a stop. Good. I'm going to keep drilling out the word just so he recognizes it with the left leg. Heel, tap, good. Tap, 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 tap. I'm going to slow it to a stop. Good boy. Heel, left leg, slow to a stop. Tap for the sit. Tap. Heel. Tap. Tap. Slow to a stop. Heel. Tap. So right here he's forging, turn and tap. Slow to a stop. Good boy. So a few things we saw. The beginning he lagged, or no, he didn't want to move. I kept moving, kept with the leash pressure, kept tapping until eventually he jumped out. He forged ahead. And then I tapped and turned. He kept going to the right, and then there was one time where he went to the right side, and then he was jumping on my back, and then I just kept with the leash going. I kept moving, and I kept pulling him off to my left and started tapping, and then he hopped off. But other than that, he's responding really well to the pressure where, for example, when he was stationary here, he didn't want to move, but then he flushed out, which is good. And that is it. Break. Alright, so Reactive Canine Perspective. We have board and trained Boomer. In this video, we're going to be covering turning with the heel. So we did the basic teaching of the heel, going back and forth, stopping for the automatic sits. Now we're going to be discussing making left turns and right turns. So for the left turns and stops, so all turns and all stops, before we stop, before we turn, we're always going to slow down to make sure Boomer's paying attention. If we don't slow down and we try making a left turn, because the left turn is going to be very sharp, we're probably going to end up running into his like stomach area, which is going to be pretty messy. And then for stopping, if we don't slow down before the stops, Boomer is probably just going to keep going. So if we're going at a certain pace, a fast pace, and then we just stop, and we've been going that pace for a few blocks, let's say, and then we stop, Boomer's probably just going to keep going. So that slowdown is letting him know like there's going to be a change. We're either going to make a left, right turn, or stop. So if we slow down, he's paying attention, then we proceed with the turns or stopping, which gives him a chance to see what's going on with our like visually with our body. So for the left turns, we're going to be going over first. If I'm walking with Boomer, and I slow down, I'm going to lead with my right leg like this, very sharp. It's going to be the right leg, left leg, and then another sharp turn with the right leg. So I'm walking, it's going to be right, left, right. And then we're going to be slowing down before to see if he's paying attention. If I slow down, and I plan on doing a left turn, and if I slow down and he doesn't slow down with me, I just do the 180, the tap and 180. So heel, tap. And then I also tap, 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 tap. I also don't tap with the turns. Tap, tap. I lower my number to 50. So I slow to a stop. Good. Yep. Tap, 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 tap. So I slow down. He slows down with me, but he lags here, so I give a tap. So I slow down, he slows down with the tap. So he's paying attention right here, so I'm going to go ahead and do the left turn. So I speak right, left, right. Right, left, right. So right here, tap. I'm lower again. Tap. Slowing down, he's paying attention. So right here, tap. Good. Tap. Tap, tap. So we slow down. Right, left, right. We slow down. Right, left, right. Do a few more times. So right here, he's kind of going past me. So okay, there we go. Tap. 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 So I'm going to do the left turn right here. Right, left, right. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. So I slow down. Good. Right, left, right. Slow down. So he's passing, so tap. I slow down. He's passing, so tap. Right, left, right. Right, left, right. I slow down. Right, left, right. He's passing me, tap. Tap. I slow down. Good. Wait. Tap. Good. Right, left, right. Tap. I'm going to slow to a stop. So right here's passing, so tap, 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 tap. Tap. Good. Right, left, right. Right, left, right. Tap. Tap. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Tap. Tap. We'll slow to a stop. Now I'm going to go over the the right turns. So for a few of those left turns, he did speed up a little bit, and it would catch me off guard. So it would be awkward, just because like I'm running into his chest, and if you're trying to beat him to the turn, then he's probably not paying attention. So for the right turns, it's going to be similar to the correctional turn, but we're going to slow down, extend the left leg, and then bounce back in the right, and then turn back in the left. And it's just going to be straight. So it's going to be walking, left, right, and then straight back. We're not curving or anything. So heel. So it's going to be left, right, left, like that. I slow down, he's paying attention. Left, right, left. Left, right, left. Left, right, left. As we keep doing this, left, right, left. I didn't tap there. Left, right, left. Now I'm going to slow to a stop. As we keep doing this, he's going to start to recognize we're doing a right turn because of our body shifting this way. Because I go like this, and then he's going to start to curve with us, or turn with us. So those are the turns. Definitely going to keep drilling out those left turns. It is a little harder here just because there's a lot of space on the sidewalk. It's more easier and visual for the dog and also for like the owner. And that's it. Break. Hi, it's Reactive Canine Perspective. We're here with Boomer, our board and train, and we're going to be teaching him the place command. So place is just, when we cue the word place, the dog is to go to, right here we have the lifted dog bed, so the dog is to go to the lifted dog bed and is not allowed to step off it unless given the release command, which would be break. He can stand, sit, lay down, chew on a bone, whatever he'd like to do on it, as long as he's on that surface. So it could, like I said, we have the lifted dog beds here, but it could be like a rug, a yoga mat, or a chair. But yeah, so we're teaching this. I'm gonna dip down. Go at 70. And then I'm going to start really close to the mat. And then I'm going to use leash pressure and then pair it with the e-collar. I'm not going to use too much force with the leash, but just keep it with tension like this. And I'm not going to rely on the leash for putting him on there. I'm going to rely on the e-collar. Like the amount of pressure, he'll end up flushing out. Things to expect. There could be resistance. There could be bucking around. He could probably overshoot it and then try to circle around it to avoid it. Although he is going on it by himself, I want to have the e-collar tell him to go on it, not him going on himself, because then it doesn't give him anything else to train with. So again, I'm going to start not far, close. So right here is good. And I haven't been tapping so far, just using the leash. So right here, there's tension, right? And then tap, 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 tap. There we go. And once he goes on, I release all pressure. And then break. tap. Good boy. Break. Good. There's the leash. So right now he's understanding it. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the leash pressure and just give it a tap. 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 There you go. I gave a little bit of tension just to guide him forward. Break. So again, and I'm slowly increasing my distance. It might be hard to see if I'm behind it. So we're gonna give a tap, tap, tap. There we go. I was going to give leash pressure, but he figured it out. Break. And then he's not in heel or anything, so he can, get out of position or go ahead or whatever. Give it a tap, tap, tap. There we go. Break. Good. Good. Tap, tap, tap. Good boy. Break. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Break. I'm still at 70. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Break. Break. We'll go to 75. Tap. There we go. So one tap. He ended up going on place with no leash at all. So break. Do it one more time without the leash. Tap. Okay. We'll go back to 70. So that's just the send-offs is just, tap, and then if he goes good. I'm going to start using the word place. So I'm going to, same thing, approach the bed, cue the word, then tap. If I say place and he goes, there's no tap needed. Shh. There's no tap needed. If he's struggling, then I result to leash. So it's in place, tap if he doesn't go right away, and then leash pressure if needed. I've only been practicing on this side, and I'm slowly increasing my distance. I'm going to start mixing it up, but I'm not going to start if I keep practicing on this side and it ended up over here, I'm not going to start over here on this side because this is it looks different to Boomer, so he's going to have a hard time recognizing it. So I would start here and then work my way back as far as I need to, and same thing with every other side. So right now he's been holding the command, which is good. That's the duration part of the place command. You can do a little walk around, and he's holding it. Do another walk around. If you were to get off, I will hold my leash like this. So if he were to get off, I stop and then bring him back, tapping, using the leash to bring him back. Break. So I'm going to go ahead and use the word. Good. Place, tap, good. Break. I'm going to try a different side. So I gotta start close. Place, tap. Good. Break. Start this side. Place, tap. Good. Break. Place, tap. Good. Break. Place, tap. Good. Break. Place. Good. There's no tapping there. So we will keep drilling this out until we get to that spot I got to, where it's place, and then he just goes, no tapping if necessary. So right after this command, we usually just start doing duration work on our placemats. Our placemats are by columns. There's a tether. So we would tether Boomer on the placemat to the column. And then he just started doing like 3 hours on the placemat for duration work. So then if I had to train another dog down here, I would have his remote on me, and if he took a step off, I'd tap until he got back on, since he does have the concept of it. So the tether gives him enough leash to make the mistakes. So it's not like keeping him in like one position. He has enough leash to get off the mat so that we can correct it. But other than that, all this was normal. There was there wasn't really any bucking around. He was hesitant at first, but so far so good. He's been holding it, which is good, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him some praise. And then see if after I stop giving praise, he'll jump off. So that's good. So yeah, good. Place. Break. I have Boomer here, board and train, for 2 weeks, and today in this video we're going to be covering the stay command. So stay is stay in the position you're in and don't move unless given the release command. We use this command a lot when we're in heel, and when we come to a stop, it's an automatic sit. So we wouldn't say sit again because he's already in the position. So we would just do stay and then walk off. And then he's supposed to say sitting. If he's laying down in your room and you want him to stay in that down, you wouldn't say down again, you say stay. So when we're teaching this, I'm going to go ahead and put him in a heel. Heel. So when I slow to a stop, so here, tap. So when I slow to a stop, and when he sits, this is not a sitting, he's still in the command heel. The sit part is just a part of the heel. So for the stay, we wave our left hand, stay, pivot out with the right foot, hold the leash like this because we're going to assume he's going to break, most likely come to us, and then when he does that, I hold up and tap. So that's good. Heel. Tap. So when I slow down, start to a stop. Good. Stay. Pivot up the right foot. We do a little walk around. Tap, tap, tap. So when he moves when I'm doing the walk around, I don't keep moving. I stop and correct it. If I keep moving, he's going to think heel. So if I'm moving and tapping, he's going to think, oh, catch up to Enrique. which is not what I want. So I would stop and help him see that to not follow him. So good. Heel. So I slow down, stop. Good. Stay, pivot out the right. Tap, tap, tap. Give some praise. He's still in the stay, so if I move out again, he should stay in the position. Good. Good. Heel. Do it again. Slow to a stop. Tap. Good. Stay. Pivot out the right. Good. Reason why we want to pivot out with the right foot is because right foot is stay, left leg is heel, right foot, or left leg is heel, right leg is stay. So if we went out with the left leg, I've been drilling heel and left leg so much, he might just follow. So if we separate those two and just do the right leg, he's going to start recognizing that the right leg means stay. So yeah, break. Hi, it's Enrique with Canine Perspective. This video for boomers. So boomers are board and train, and in this video we're going to be covering the down and sit. So we're going to do the down first. So our down has an implied stay. I'm not going to be focused too much on the stay part just yet, just getting him to go into the position. So I'm going to start low. I'm going to start at 30. Right now, right now his number was 40 in the 40s. It changes. Sometimes it'll be like 40s, 30s, and other times it'll be, I think it's just depending on the context, because his fur, he has a lot of fur. It'll be like 15 or 14 if it's making really good contact. But yeah, we're going to be focusing on the down. And when we're teaching it, there's two ways. The first way, or the way, so what I'm going to do first is the pressure on the shoulders. If it's too much there, then I'll go here. So one way is the pressure on the shoulder blades right here. I'm not going to be pushing straight down, I'm going to be pushing at an angle, because that's just how he would end up folding when he lays down. It's a natural way to go down for boomer. The other way would be stepping on the leash and pulling or giving pressure from the bottom of his neck and then pairing it up to tapping. So left hand on shoulder, pressing down, not too much force, but I'm going to be tapping, so pairing up to tap. And I'm going to start very low and work my way up. Just, work the down with him in a very slow way. Because I'm in no rush, this is going to take our time. But yeah, I got it on the flat collar right now. Help him to sit. So I'm going to do the foot first. So here I'm stepping on the leash. Right here. I'm on 30. Give a tap. Tap. 41. Tap. Tap. Okay, just getting into sitting. So here's pressure again. 40. Tap. Tap. Good. Tap. 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 Tap.
tap, tap, almost. Let's see what he does. And give another tap, 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 tap. There we go. Tap. Gonna go to 48. Tap, tap, tap. Oh shit. Tap, 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 tap. There we go. Almost. Tap, tap. So I'm just going to do the shoulders and then step on the leash just to keep him in position. So tap, 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 56, tap, 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 59, tap, 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 tap. There we go. Break. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. I don't care if he broke it right away. It's just the fact that he went down with the leash pressure. I'm just trying to see what's the best way to get him down first. And then eventually, you know, if it ends up just being the foot for now, eventually I'll pair the foot with my hand so that he gets to feel the hand when he goes down, so he'll start to recognize that. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. Almost. There we go. So there's no tapping there. So now, since he's starting to recognize the leash pressure, I'm going to start pairing it with my hand. Tap, tap, tap. Good. So eventually, as I keep pressing this, I will keep using my hand, and it wouldn't be such a long process. It'd just be, he would recognize that the hand and tap means go down, and then once I see that, then I start cueing the word. Tap, tap. See right here, I didn't have to use a leash, it's just the hand. And he's holding it for a while here, which is good. Bring it. Good. So pressure on the shoulders. I'm gonna tap. So right here, tap, tap, tap. Good. Break. I'm gonna dip down for 35. So here I'm adding pressure, but I'm not tapping yet. Tap. Tap. So since he's starting to crawl away, I'm going to put my foot on the leash just to hold him in place. Tap. Good. Break. Tap. Better. So I think it was the number that caused him to like overshoot it. Overshoot it to like trying to get away. He was going down, but he was crawling away. So once I lowered it, I saw a difference right there. So here he's holding it, which is really good. So now for the sit, it'd just be the auto sit. It's just like the auto sit, so up and then tap. So it'd be Bruno sit, tap, 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 tap. So I'll do that again. Tap. Good. I'll lower my number again. I'm going down to 25. Bruno, sit. Tap. Tap. Good. Good. So we will keep drilling at those things. Down. Tap. Tap. Go down to 15 because we have good contact. Down. Tap. 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 Good. Break. Down. Tap. Break. Okay. Down. Tap. 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 Good. Break. Down. Good. No tapping there, it's just, and I didn't put much pressure, I was just touching him. So I was just touching his shoulders, no tapping, and I just set the work down. Break. No tapping there either. Down. Good. No tapping and not too much pressure on the shoulders. So we got to the point where it's the keyword, and we're getting rid of the e-collars just so he goes down on cue, and then we'll leave it there. Break. Hi, it's Enrique with Canine Perspective. We have Boomer. We're going to be working on recall with Boomer today, and then Bree is going to be helping us. So the reason why we have two handlers and a 30-foot long leash and then the regular short leash is because this is going to there's going to be points where like we want him to eventually,
make the command happen. So this long leash is just going to give us that distance, which is going to be like the realistic part of it. And then if he's unable to complete it, we're going to keep using the e-collar and the long leash. The long leash is going to be like the guide for him to complete it. And then the other handler with the short leash is just to create that separation. So, because we're going to be repeating this command a lot, like the foundation of it. So then eventually Boomer's just going to be like, well, I don't want to leave your side then, so if I'm going to get called or like tapped or whatever, I'm just not going to go. So that's why we have the two handlers. So the recall is going to be like, you know, the Boomer come, and he should be in like a foot of the vicinity and sitting. And he's only allowed to leave our side once we release him like for like a break command. So a lot of like owners or the regular owners who have the recall will be like, you know, Boomer come, and then the dog will come and then just keep walking away, or like, you know, they'll come to the owner but they won't stick, and we want the sticky part. So I'm gonna have the remote and the black leash to make it easier for me. How I hold the leash is I put my right thumb in the loop, so I still have that leash lock, and then I have the remote in my right hand, and I use my left hand to have the leash, and then I just use my middle finger to keep reeling it in as he comes closer. So this is like my setup. There's other ways that you can have the remote in your left hand, leash in your right hand, and then like using your right hand with the left hand or whatever. It's whatever's comfortable for you. What else? So yeah, the reeling it in is going to be important because like he has 30 feet. So if he comes to you but he passes you, so as he's coming, we're reeling in, and if we're not going to be reeling in, then he's going to have 30 feet more to pass you, and it's just going to make it a lot harder. So what I'm going to be doing for teaching, I'm not going to say any words. The only word I'm going to be saying is tap, just to let Bree know like when it's okay to let go of the leash. And then once we separate, I'm going to, we'll do it right now. You can walk out there. All right, so I have the leash, the setup I had, like I explained before. We're using the 2300. In the other videos, I was using the 3500, and his number would change a lot. He has some thick fur, so sometimes I'd be like I remember the first video we got to like 70, but then eventually I went down like to like 14s and like the 20s. So right now I found his working number is 42, but we're gonna we'll go to 35 just because we're teaching something new. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to keep pulling the leash, and then until I get tension right here. So here there's tension, nothing's happening yet. So once you go a little bit more back. Yeah, so once I feel tension, I'm gonna pair it with the remote, and then once I cue the word tap, Bree's gonna let the leash go, and then, so a couple things might happen. A Boomer might get closer to Bree because she's gonna think, oh, heel, because that's, you know, the only things we taught him so far is heel, stay in place, and down and sit. So he's gonna think either to lay down, sit, or get closer, or something to have something to do with Bree. But as I kick in with the leash pressure, I'm going to start moving him away from Bree and keep tapping until I see Boomer make his way to me. So once he starts making his way, I release all pressure from the leash and e-collar.
Here's tension. Here's tension. Do a tap. There we go. So I reel in. I'm going to give a tap for the sit. Great. So that number was a little too high. I'm going to dip down. Go to, I'm going to try 20. That was a good one right there. So here's tension. Tap. Tap. Break. So another thing I'm doing, I forgot to mention, is I'm taking 3 to 4 steps back. So as he's coming 3 to 4 steps back, because it's going to be like a signal to him, like to draw him in. So for example, let's say we go to a dog park and I'm calling him, but it's loud, or not a dog park, any park, and it's loud. And I'm tapping him, I'm calling him, but he can't hear me, but he feels the tap and he's looking for me. Once he sees me, but he still can't hear me, if I start backing up, then he's going to know, oh, recall. So the backing up is very important. Here's tension. I didn't tap yet. Tap, tap, good. Right here, you pass me, tap. Break. So when he passed me there, I turn, face him, and repeat the taking 3 to 4 steps back and tapping. If he stops in the middle, I go back to pressure on and go tapping and then leash pressure if needed. If he comes and completes it, but he's sitting a little farther away, like right here, like this is too far. So I would give a tap, see what he does. If he starts to look confused, then I'd go to the leash to help him out. So tap. So right here, see what he does. Good. Break. So now I'm gonna start getting rid of the leash pressure and just tapping. See if he's starting to catch on. So tap if he's having a hard time, then leash pressure. And then no tension at first. So I'm gonna tap, 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 tap. There we go. Tap. Right here, this is a little too far. Give it a tap here. There we go. And break. Scratching that. Yeah. So again, tap, no tension. Tap. Good. Tap. This is a little too far. Tap. This is better, yeah. Break. Tap, tap, good. Tap, tap,
Right here, passes, tap, 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 tap. There we go. Tap. Wait. Isn't that? Because I notice that every day. He's always dressing that now. So right here, hopefully it got caught on camera, but he got tangled up, and I kept tapping. Nothing happened, so I tapped faster, which is another way to increase pressure. Then he finally spun out of it and came right to me. So a lot of owners might see the dog get tangled up and be like, "Oh, let me untangle him," or they always want to fix that issue. But we'll take advantage of that issue because it counts as a distraction. So if Boomer is he sees a squirrel, or like maybe he's coming to you, but then he like catches a sniff or any distraction. If you haven't worked through that yet, then it's he's gonna have a hard time. So if he gets tangled up, like we know you're tangled up, we know it's bothering you, but you still have to complete the command. So I'm gonna. So now I'm gonna cue the word or the phrase "Boomer come." It's going to be Boomer come, tap, 3 steps back, and then if needed, then leash pressure. So the reason why I tap every time I cue the word is because, let's say I cue, I give the command, Boomer come, he doesn't come, then I tap, but he's already decided to come. So if he feels a tap when he's already coming, and you haven't worked him through that, he's most likely going to run the other way, or just go down, just shut down that spot. So when we do Boomer come, tap, even if he's coming, it's going to cause some confusion, but we want to clarify the confusion now in this safe area, just so that he knows what to do in a real life scenario. Boomer come, tap. So when I cue the word, he was already on his way, and I tapped, and he still made his way to me. Boomer come, tap. Tap. Good. Break. So this is why we have the 2 handlers, because he's starting to try to get away from food. Boomer, come. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Okay, so we'll give him a break here. Break. So we'll keep pressing this. And that's it.